Hey guys, what's going on? Today we are doing our first holiday makeup tutorial for hooded eyes. This is what I came up with. It's pretty simple, it's very simple, and it's pretty neutral. I know, and I explained this kind of in the outro, I know a lot of people when it's holiday season kind of like to go like all in with their makeup, and I love that, but my eyes cannot handle it. It just doesn't look good on me, so I thought this would be kind of fun. It's different. It's definitely shimmery and green and holiday oriented, but it's still kind of toned down and will work for like the average everyday woman. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I get this look right here, please keep watching. All right, so I already have obviously half my face done. Bringing it old school today, and I have like my base on and all of that stuff. I figured we'd just get right into the eye look since that's what most of you are probably looking for. So I already have my foundation, my concealer on, so I'm just gonna go ahead and set it with just my face powder. So there's a nice base to blend all of the shadows on. That always is a good first step to take. So it takes 2 seconds. I'm just using a Smashbox palette that has a lot of colors in it. This is the Smashbox Art Love Color palette, and I'm really only using a few colors in here. So I'm using this gray color first called Cement right here. It's just a nice gray transition color. There's a MAC shadow that is very, very close to this. There's a million shadows out there that are very close to this. I cannot remember the name of the MAC shadow, but anything that's gray will work great. And typically I don't start with a transition color, but I am gonna start with a transition color today. So I'm just gonna dip my brush right into that color, and I'm gonna start to kind of build out the transition color. And like I've talked about before with hooded eyes, you wanna kind of lift up and out to lift the eye. If you have hooded eyes that are kind of like mine, all hooded eyes are different, so the process is a little different for everybody. Some people might look better with like a more rounded transition color. You can see on this side, I kind of brought it out and up, and I just find that it looks good. So you'll kind of see what I do as I fast forward through this. Now I'm not gonna bring it into the corner with this brush because this brush is too big and it'll just get messy. And we're not really doing like a cut crease or anything like that, but it kind of has that same effect. You could definitely do a cut crease if you wanted to, but I'm mainly gonna use this brush for the outer corner since I have more space. And then as I go into the inner corner, I'm gonna switch to this Morphe M507 brush. You can see it's just a little more precise. The brush I was just using is the Morphe M433. So you could just see the size difference here. If you have hooded eyes, this smaller Morphe brush is really, really good. So again, I'm just taking that cement color, and now I'm gonna kind of bring it in a little. And I'm gonna stop right about there, about a third of the way in, again, because I don't want it to get too close to my inner corner and close off the eye. All right, so that's about the shape that I want. Now I'm gonna blend. Again, with hooded eyes, you have to blend a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Unfortunately, I find with hooded eyes, you have to blend more than if you don't have hooded eyes, but it's okay, you know, it'll just make you better at blending. And I'm mainly gonna focus on blending the outer corners so we don't lose too much pigment. And then I just go back in and I kind of build from here. So I'm gonna bring it down a little more. Kind of going in that V shape. And then since I have the smaller brush, I'm gonna kind of tuck it a little closer into my crease here. Or tighter rather than closer. Focusing mainly on the outer third. And see how I'm like bringing it up here rather than down. I'm kind of stopping here, following my natural lash line up, trying not to go onto the lid at all in here. And then again, blend. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take a slightly darker gray shade. This color, nice. This color is called Smoke, and as you can see, it's just slightly darker than that first gray we used. And again, I'm gonna take that on that smaller Morphe brush. And just so you know, every time I dip into a color, I dip and then I touch a paper towel to kind of remove some of the pigment. I have my base on and I don't want any fallout. There's not much fallout with this palette as it is, but I just do that because I'd rather work smaller than go in harsh and have to clean it up. So now I'm just gonna take that closer to the lash line and in that outer V to just smoke it out. Tucking it right in that outer V, just like that. And then again, you guessed it, blend. All right, so I'm gonna leave it at that for now. Now the next thing I'm gonna grab is this Revlon Color Stay Cream Eyeshadow. This is in the color 735. It's just a shimmery green color, super pretty for the holidays. And it comes with this little brush in the tip, and I actually like using this, which is absolutely shocking because typically, as you've seen in my past videos, I just throw away the applicator. So since I have hooded eyes, I keep this very, very tight to my lash line because there is some shimmer in it and you don't want the shimmer to like travel up. So what I'm gonna do is just take it and fill in most of that negative space, leaving a third of my inner corner blank. Definitely not going into my crease at all because I don't want any glitter in there. And if you don't have hooded eyes, you could definitely do a cut crease here. I just don't really like how cut creases look on me. And this is just really a base for the shadow I'm gonna apply. So I'm gonna leave it right there for now. And the next thing I'm gonna do is grab yet another shadow in this Smashbox palette that I really, really like. This one is called Zoom. I'll show you what it looks like so you guys can find something similar if you don't have the palette. This color right here, it's just a nice, like shimmery light green that literally is perfect on top of this shade, and it just like intensifies it to the most perfect color. So I'm just gonna grab that on this flat brush from a craft store, or you could use whatever you have, and I'm gonna place that over the shimmer that I just applied. So again, not getting too close into my crease and staying outside of that inner third. Just like that. So now, once again, we're gonna blend. I'm grabbing my MAC 222, it's just a little more precise, and I'm gonna dip back into the first gray we used, the lighter gray, the color Cement, on this brush, and I'm gonna just start to kind of blend the green with this gray so they kind of meet. I'm using a very, very light hand and then just blending. Nothing on this brush. So then I'm going to just grab a deeper green, and there's not a deeper green in this palette. There's one, but it's got some shimmer and I just want a matte green. So I'm taking the NYX Bohemian Chic palette and I'm going in with this green color. It's just a deep like forest green, and I'm gonna take that on that smaller Morphe brush once again. And I'm just gonna start to deepen that outer corner once again. And I know you might be like, you already deepened it with that darker gray. The layering really makes this look good. So I'm going to kind of go one step in from where the deeper gray was, what's that color called? Smoke. And kind of blend here. So it's like a nice transition. And then I'm just gonna go in with a matte black color. Again, any matte black will work. And I'm gonna deepen the outer corner just a little bit. Almost like winging, using it kind of as like a wing liner, because with my hooded eyes, I can't pull off a winged liner. So I like to kind of wing my shadow and then pull it in. just a tad bit. I'm trying to close my mouth while I do this, and it's very, very hard. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that like that for now, and the next thing I'm going to do is take a highlight shade. So there's just like a white highlight shade. I like went in with 3 highlights on this other eye, so this is just like a seriously white shimmery highlight shade, and I'm gonna start with that on the inner corner. Kind of brighten and lighten everything. Actually, that's not what I did first. First, I took this shade, which is this like bluish greenish highlight shade. These things are annoying. This shade right here. And I put that on the inner corner. So I definitely want to mimic what I did on that eye. So I'm just gonna grab a flat brush. This is a MAC 239, and place that first here. And then I took that white shade, placed it over. So basically I just did the same thing in a different order. And then I went in with the Dose of Colors highlight in Fuego. Looks like this. And I added a bit of that on top to kind of make it a little more like wet looking and golden. And then on top of that, because we have to be way extra on holidays, I took the Mary Luminizer highlight, looks like this, and went on top of that. And that's how I ended up with that. I'm gonna bring that down a little bit. Okay, so lower lash line. The first thing I did is I took that matte forest green color on just a small little like pencil brush. This is some old BH Cosmetics brush. It doesn't have a number, it's very old. And I put that all under, and I always connect it to the outer corner. Sorry, someone's vacuuming upstairs. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. I'm sure you can't hear it because they're walking like elephants. And I'm taking that all the way, stopping right there. I'm gonna smoke that out. So that is step 1. Then step 2, I'm just taking that darker gray color, once again, Smoke, and I'm putting that on a flat liner brush, and I'm going to place that right on the lash line, keeping this pretty much just in the outer third. Pretty much just do like 1, 2. And then on that inner corner, I'm going to bring that shimmery green color that I used on pretty much the middle of the lid down there. I just think it looks really pretty. So again, I'm just gonna grab a pencil brush if I can find one, because I have a million brushes in front of me. There we go. I'm just gonna place that on the inner corner, on the bottom. And then I'm just gonna take that small Morphe brush, brush off any kind of pigment that's left, and start to blend that lower lash line. Sorry, the camera overheated, so while that cooled off, I took the opportunity to go ahead and do my brows, because I don't think anybody cares how I do my brows, because everybody does their brows kind of different. So I went ahead and did that, and the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to line just my upper waterline. So I'll show you how I do that, even though I'm sure most of you know how to do that. So I'm just gonna do it really tight right on the upper waterline, and I'm gonna stop right there. I don't wanna bring it into the inner corner because then it kind of goops up and that doesn't look cute. I'm doing this because I don't wanna close my eye off. And then on the inner waterline, I'm just gonna use a nude, but I won't do that on camera because I know it grosses some people out. I think if you didn't have hooded eyes, using a black liner all the way around would be really pretty, but since I have hooded eyes, I don't wanna close my eyes off any further, so I just prefer that. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply my Mega Lashes in the style Wyatt. That is what they look like. They're really pretty. They're kind of longer on the outer corner, so they make my eyes open a little bit. So I'm gonna curl my lashes, apply a coat of mascara, apply these, and I'll meet you back here. All right, cool. So while we wait for that to dry, let's go ahead and do our lips. I have the Rimmel lip liner in Innocent, right? Innocent, yeah. Wow, this lasts 30 months. That's a long time for a makeup product. So I'm just gonna line my lips first. I wish I could train my dog and cats to be my camera people so they could tell me when my mirror is like this. So sorry. I am a one-woman show here, so I can't see if I'm like have things in the way. And then I think I'm gonna use a mixture of More Creamer Please and No Shade on my lips from the Desi and Katie Dose of Color collection. We'll start with More Creamer Please. I kind of just like how that looks, to be honest. And then a little bit of No Shade on the center for some dimension. And then as always, I just like to press it in. I think, especially with this formula, it goes a long way when you do this to make it look a little better. Yeah, I like how that looks. Do we want to apply gloss? Yeah, it's holiday season. Why not? Let's go ahead and keep with the Dose of Colors theme and apply just a little gloss because it's holiday season. Oh, it's weird when I apply gloss, but I like it. It looks good. So let me go ahead and just take a little more of Fuego and apply that to my Cupid's bow. And then a little down the center because we want to shine like a Christmas tree, right? And then I'm just gonna apply a little bit of that onto my cheekbones again. A little up there, on that, a little here. And then I always just take my beauty blender after I highlight and just touch over. And that is it, you guys. I really like how this looks. It's super nice for the holidays. I know a lot of people like to go way overboard. Not overboard. I know a lot of people really like to apply a lot of product, and I think this is just a little more of like a natural holiday look, so I hope that's helpful to some of you. You could totally do like a red lip with this if that was your style. I think that might be a little too much since the eyes are green, but you could totally do it if that's your style. So I hope you guys like this. Let me get a little bit closer so you guys can see everything up close. On my face, I used the Makeup Forever HD foundation. For bronzer, I used the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, which I am obsessed with. I also used the Physicians Formula Matte Contour Kit for a little bit of contour. Blush is my go-to for the holidays, the Wet n Wild Rose Champagne. Just a really nice, just kind of a peachy, it has some shimmer in it so you look healthy kind of deal there. And then eyebrows is the Anastasia Brow Wiz. What else? I think that's it, right? Concealer is the Tarte Shape Tape, and that is seriously it, you guys. So yeah, thanks for spending some time with me today. I hope you guys have an awesome holiday season. I know this is way in advance of Christmas time, but with Thanksgiving coming up, it's kind of nice. You could totally switch this up with orange, rusty, browns, bronze, any kind of color like that. It's just nice to kind of have a hooded tutorial out there. So once again, I hope this is helpful to some of you. Let me know if you guys have any questions below. Otherwise, thanks for spending some time with me today. If you're interested in seeing any more videos from me, please subscribe. It means the absolute world to me. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It helps me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.